watching Israel's Iron Dome. It's an air defense system that's used to intercept rockets, incoming rockets and shells and missiles. We have our Scripps News International correspondent Trent Murray live in Tel Aviv for us now. And Trent, what's happening right now where you are?
Well, in the past 20 minutes or so, we've just seen a second wave of Iranian ballistic missiles arrive here in Israel. We heard a number of explosions here in Tel Aviv. We also saw the Iron Dome system kicking into gear, intercepting a number of those missiles. But we are also hearing reports that some did manage to make impact here in the city. There are photos and videos being shared of an area just about a quarter mile that way, showing where there is smoke at what is thought to be one of Israel's main government buildings that has been hit. Now, of course, we had been waiting for this sort of retaliation throughout the day after Israel launched its major air attack on Iran last night, targeting the country's military leadership as well as nuclear enrichment facilities. Certainly throughout the day, the Iranians had been using some pretty strong rhetoric that there would be a response, and that response has now come. Now, what we know right now at this hour is that the shelter-in-place order remains. The Israeli government is advising people to remain in their safe rooms and in their shelters until they are given the all clear. We know that the subway stations here in Tel Aviv have been opened up as public bomb shelters for folks that maybe don't have a shelter in their own apartment building. We also are being told that several major hospitals now have begun moving some of their medical care facilities down into their underground car parks in order to make sure that the hospital isn't impacted up on the surface. So look, it is likely going to be a long night ahead here, I think. There is some expectation that further waves of missiles may come. That is why the state of emergency and the shelter-in-place order remains. And as I say, right now, from what we believe, what we understand, is that while the Iron Dome was able to intercept most of those missiles, it does appear there have been some impacts. I was also speaking to some colleagues up in Jerusalem just in the past 20 minutes. They are telling me up there as well, the Iron Dome system kicking into gear to intercept a number of missiles that were fired in that direction of the country too.
Do we know of any injuries or casualties as a result of what's happening now?
The latest information that we have from the National Ambulance Service is that there are 5 injuries. One of them is considered moderate. We don't have any reports right now of casualties, but certainly right now in the city, what I can tell you is there is a constant stream of sirens from first responders, paramedics and fire crews activating given the emergency. I think right now what the fear is that as the night drags on, that people could become a bit complacent and feel that it's safe to leave their safe areas. But right now, the IDF is pleading with people through the cell phone apps and other official channels just to stay inside, to stay where they are until they're given the official all clear that it's safe to leave.
And Trent, are we seeing Israel with any kind of response themselves? Are they countering any of these missiles? Are they launching anything towards Iran at all?
Well, quite literally, up until the minutes when this first wave of missiles arrived here in Israel, we had been hearing that on the Iranian side, the IDF was continuing to launch airstrikes on a number of sites, including major Air Force bases, military sites, as well as nuclear enrichment facilities. We did see some videos suggesting that air defense systems in Iran were attempting to intercept some of those Israeli aircraft up in Iranian airspace. But right now, I don't think there's any sign that the Israelis are going to be backing off in their military operations. They are saying that this is an operation that could continue for days, even up until 2 weeks, according to the government here. And we are also hearing several Israeli media reports suggesting that through back channels, the Israelis had warned the Iranians that if they targeted Israel's major population centres, in other words, the big cities like this one, Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, Jerusalem, then not only would Israel increase the tempo of its operation inside of Iran, but it would begin targeting their valuable oil and gas infrastructure, of course, so critical, not just to the country's economy, but to global oil markets. So, look, you would imagine right now the diplomats are working the phones, doing their best to try and de-escalate this situation. But these two sides, these two major regional foes right now have effectively declared war on one another, which is why the next coming hours and days are just going to be so critical for the direction of travel that this region takes and the wider impact it could have, of course, both on the world and the global economy.
And Trent, before I let you go, tell us about your situation in particular. You're on a balcony in Tel Aviv. What is your safe area like? What is your shelter like? And are you stocked for days, for weeks? And how safe are you?
Yeah, so look, I mean, this apartment building is a newer build, which means under building laws here, the safe room is contained within the apartment itself. So the bedroom has a big steel door and a big steel window cover that you pull across, and it's effectively a safe, firm, reinforced concrete room that you can use. It's just right there. So if the sirens go off again, I very much am able to head in there. But not all buildings have that, of course. Other buildings will have communal shelters, perhaps on each floor of an apartment block. Older buildings may not have any, and so in those cases, people will often sit in the stairwells. That's considered the safest area. But what we had seen throughout the day was some messaging from the IDF and Home Command in particular, telling people just to have a plan of attack, of where to go if those sirens do go off, and for people in older buildings to maybe make use of some of those public shelters like subway stations, which are considered safer given the sort of scale of what they were expecting. And I think based on what we've seen in the past hour with hundreds of these ballistic missiles, that's probably information that was well shared, and I would imagine they'll be hoping that throughout the night people will continue to follow it. But it will likely be a long night ahead here, I think.
All right, Scripps News international correspondent Trent Murray live in Tel Aviv. Thank you for your reporting. Please stay safe. We will check back with you and let us know if there's anything we can do for you from here.